Hello, good day, gamers. Welcome once again to another Game Master Dave Plays. This time again, it's Call of Cthulhu with our keeper Anna. And we are on an island where everybody seems to keep dying, and there's strange patients that we now have to take care of. And there you go. All right, thanks for joining us. Let's level up. I remembered, Bill. I remembered.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, cool. Take it away, Anna.
All right. So just a quick recap of the events. So last week, Byron spent almost the entire session in the office studying the files, but as a result, yeah. Well, I was getting there. But as a result of his study, he now has pretty good knowledge of what's in those files. So anytime Byron wants to sort of know from the keeper what he might have learned about a certain patient or a certain employee, he's free to ask me. But yes, as I was getting to, so the rest of the group left him there studying and decided to go outside to investigate the source of the horrific screaming. And as Velvet LaBouche heard, the chanting that was also going on. And unfortunately, they got lost in the dark, wandering around the island. They left the road and sort of struck off across the forest to try to follow the sound of the screams, but the screams had stopped and they were trying to sort of figure out where they were coming from, but got a little turned around. Eventually found a blood-stained rock with some disturbing looking tracks around it. Decided to call it for the night. Came back, upon which they discovered that the power was out because the generator had failed.
Sorry, Byron.
Valiantly attempted to fix it and only made it worse.
That was Clark.
Yeah, Clark. That was Clark.
Not me.
I don't know what went wrong.
It was Jimmy's idea, but Clark executed it.
Someone bizarrely had the idea that they would lock Byron into the office for his own safety.
That's right.
For some reason, took the key with them.
Yeah, Jimmy, I don't get that. Yep.
Rather than leaving the key with Byron so he might let himself out, they decided to lock him in, and so he was locked in the dark with a
dead body
corpse. Yeah,
it wasn't just any dead body. Let's be honest.
You know, and he's a man of medicine and a man of science, but I think even the most level-headed person would suffer under those circumstances.
Especially in this place.
Yeah. So in any event, you came back, you failed to get the generator back on, you collected Byron, you found a bedroom, you all piled into the bedroom, you all went to sleep, you gallantly let the ladies have the bed. Mumsy woke up in time to wake up Blanche, but chose not to.
Yeah, there's no way. I had, yep.
And so then you were late in fetching Blanche, who had told you very determinedly that she was meant to be let out at 7. You didn't come until 8. And you have let her out. She's gone off, perhaps to the kitchen. It looks like she's gone off in the direction of the kitchen. There's still no power, but, you know, there's, I guess, enough light coming in. It must be a gas stove. They didn't have electric stoves in the 20s, I'm assuming. Probably gas.
Yeah.
Yes,
you light with them.
Yeah. Mumsy was able to calm her down, I think, right?
Quite a bit. Yeah. Let me tell you, Dr. Mumsy, who's what, in her mid-60s or something? Mid to late 60s, I can't remember. She's the doctor. Blanche is the patient. I'm sorry she didn't get out when she wanted. But Velvet needed her rest, and we need the men strong. Because we don't know what's going to happen today. Mumsy stands by her decision.
Something that Byron had discovered in Blanche's file is that the reason that she is here is that she murdered her adult children a few years ago on Christmas Eve. But aside from that little blip, the files indicate that she has been a very model patient since her time here, and that she seems to be telling the truth that she is given, large freedoms and run of the place, at least during the day, and does help with many of the household chores and seems to know a lot about what the other patients need. The other thing, I can't remember if this happened last week or the week before, but you had successfully administered medication to the patient whose name we should all have by now. Mrs. Carla Randolph was successfully given sedative last night. And you interacted with the other patients before locking them in their rooms, but unless I'm misremembering, we kind of ended there at you letting Blanche out, and it's now the morning.
Yeah, I'm hoping for she makes some eggs and bacon. I thought.
I think, unfortunately, on her way to the kitchen, Blanche did see the body of the.
Yes. Thank you for the reminder, Bill.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I decided to end on that cliffhanger. So, yes, she walked past, and because Mumsy had done such an amazing job of psychoanalysis, bringing Blanche back to reality a little bit after she was quite furious with you for not following what she saw as the rules. You perhaps brought her a little bit too much back to reality. And so, yes, thank you for the reminder. We did end last week on her walking past the unfortunate nurse.
Bobby. Wasn't his name Bobby?
Bobby, yes, Bobby Birch. Bobby Birch. And it seems that she may have actually figured out that he's dead and not just asleep. She's now screaming. And that is where we ended, yes.
Oh.
Yes, and just for the record, Mumsy was again letting Blanche out to make breakfast.
Okay.
I was out there. Okay. Hopefully she will be okay. Oh, so the poor dear is screaming. She's finally woken up. So.
Yeah, like try to comfort her, or
what was that?
Maybe I'd like to try to comfort her, or say like, dear, it's okay. We're trying to figure out what's going on. I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't really know. What do you all think?
Well, you're doing it, Velvet, because you're already kind. So let's see how successful you are.
I guess so.
Yeah. What do you have? Persuade.
I just jumped right into it. I guess. Yeah, charm. Definitely charm.
I hope we're not considered family if she freaks out.
Oh my goodness. I have a 75. I rolled a 77. I could use 2 luck points.
You don't have a lot of luck.
I can try to.
I might push the roll.
I can try to roll.
I'm going to push the roll. Here we go.
Wait. You just got to push the roll.
87.
I'm gonna die.
So what do you say, Blanche?
Velvet, wait. Oh,
the roll's done.
No, I've clearly said something. How about this? I wind up saying I try to comfort her by saying it's no big deal. I mean, there's lots of other dead people on the island too.
Ed does stop crying and screaming and looks at you and says, "You remind me so much of my daughter."
Oh, she might have reminded me.
At which point can Mumsy step up?
Take a step back, Velvet.
You failed to push roll.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Blanche. I know poor Velvet is in shock. Just in shock. Her kind heart, right? She's just in shock how awful all this is, right?
So what happened to Bobby? Where's the doctor?
Yeah, he was murdered, right? It's terrible.
One of you? Who did this?
We don't know. It definitely wasn't us.
Was it Leonard?
We don't know. But as far as we can tell, Leonard is locked in his room. Did you lock him in there?
Well, yes, I did after he attacked you.
All right. Well, then in that case,
Bobby was asleep then.
Bobby was asleep then?
Yeah.
Was Bobby maybe already dead at that time?
Bobby was dead, Blanche. Bobby was already dead, Blanche, but we didn't want to upset you further. It was just so horrible, right?
Oh, my. Well, we'll have to dig a grave for him. Where's Ebenezer?
Gotta
I
dig a
wish
grave for
Byron
him,
was
too.
here. I wish Byron was here. Blanche, do we know exactly where Ebenezer is?
He's down by the docks, I thought.
Jimmy, we are not having this conversation in front of Blanche.
Oh.
Last we saw, he went down to the. We were trying to find him, got lost in the woods, remember, before dinner, and we missed dinner and the whole thing. But you're right, we do need to dig him a grave. And Blanche, let's face it, we are probably the two most mature people here. So we need to work together to help everybody.
I'm not digging your grave. You're
No,
not gonna
not us. We're not digging. We're in charge of keeping people calm.
Okay.
We're not in charge of
Who's
digging.
gonna charge up the generator? Because I saw that Ebenezer let it run out.
Oh, is that what happened
gas.
to it? It ran out of gas. We
Oh.
weren't sure.
Whoops.
Yeah, there's gas in the shed. Was Ebenezer? Did he just forget? Where's he? Maybe
He must have forgotten. Yeah. How hard did you hit that thing, Wesley?
How about them eggs and bacon?
Oh my, this is so upsetting.
really
Yes,
is.
I guess I should make one less serving of breakfast.
Yeah. Why don't you focus on breakfast, and I'll escort the boys outside and encourage them to get that generator going. Velvet, come with me, right? We're all gonna stick together here.
Sure, yeah, let's all stick together. I guess I have a quick question for Blanche. Has anyone else died since you've been on the island?
Oh, she's so smart.
Is there a graveyard here?
I don't know. I don't think anyone's died since I've only been here.
Rich.
Well, I can't remember. No, not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of. Okay.
No. Well, in fact, I guess we should call the police, but I don't want them to suspect me or anyone else. It wasn't me.
Wait. How do we call the police? I thought we couldn't call the police.
Well, when Ebenezer goes to the island, he can he's going to take the boat. We got to find Ebenezer.
Oh.
That's a good idea.
He's going to take the boat to the mainland, and he can call the police from there.
About that boat.
Jimmy, Blanche, that's an excellent idea. So when Ebenezer reports in, we will let him know.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, what's the plan, boys? Blanche is going to go get breakfast ready, and Velvet and I will accompany you out to the generator to supervise it. How about
Perfect. All right, I'm following you. Excuse me.
Hey, Rich. Thanks for the comment.
I was here.
No, wrong, Rich. I'm sorry. We got a comment.
Oh,
on,
Byron.
I was here. We had a classroom emergency. I had to.
I was going to say a bedtime emergency.
No, more of a school emergency. She had to send something to a parent immediately, and she didn't want to do it.
Anyway, so you're letting Blanche go about her business in the kitchen, and
yes.
You are going to go back to the generator.
What do you guys think? Is that the priority now that Blanche has
I would
stepped
think
out?
we want to have the lights on if we could. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Oh, is
right now it's light out, right? So this is the time to go out there.
It is. It's now 8 a.m. So it's really light.
It's morning, so we should go do this
it's a good
now.
time to do that. Absolutely.
So Jimmy, go out there and start the thing up, and let us know how it goes.
Wait. We splitting the party? How about me and Clark go out there?
I seriously
not
think
splitting the party, just one of us. That's all. Just.
We're not splitting the party. Just one of us go out there.
Listen, Byron, we thought you were okay waiting in the office. Please.
Now he's wants to enact revenge on the rest of us.
Yeah. I guess the rest of you left me in a dark room. So.
Yes, but we locked the door.
Okay. When you go out to the generator, I'll lock the door behind you. Don't worry about it. I'll lock you outside.
I think we'll hold the keys.
It was baffling to me, Rich. Unfortunately, you weren't here to speak for yourself, so I was like,
I know exactly. Yeah, I'll go with that. That sounds good.
I can work.
I can work.
You're gonna lock him in. And I did inform them that the key locks on either side of the door. And they're like, we're going to lock him in and take the key with us. And I'm like, you know, the keys come off the key ring, right? So they're like, no, it's cool. It's totally fine.
Good.
It was for his own safety. If so,
Look, everybody's still here. That's the important thing.
Okay,
that
so-
Mom
To
said.
me that he feels so funnily about it now because he's, as far as I don't recall hearing any objections at the time.
That's true. That's
Thank
true,
you,
Bud.
Velvet.
That's Velvet.
Thank
Velvet,
you.
Velvet, very
So-
wise. That's
Probably
right,
the-
Dr. Reynolds. You could have
Who's going
spoken.
out to the shed?
We all are, right, guys?
All right.
We're all-
Yeah, I think we all are.
Okay.
All right.
So Clark and Jimmy.
So
Jimmy-
as you walk past so you're going to walk past the patient rooms through the laundry, I'm assuming.
yeah.
Doesn't seem like there's a lot coming from room 2 or 4, but as you pass room 5, you do hear some quiet crying again.
Well, that's
Oh.
Mrs. Randolph's room, right?
Right. And we didn't bring any meds, did we?
Oh.
No one told me specifically they were carrying meds around, except for Jimmy and his chloroform.
and
Byron,
Band-Aids.
Byron, did you take some when you left? You have plenty of time to organize doses last time.
In the dark, yeah. Well, he was busy studying files. He can't do both.
That is true. Okay. So, how about the Colonel? And no sounds from his room?
Do you want to peek in?
No,
Yeah, they all
coming.
do that, right?
Let's go get the generator on,
Okay.
and then we'll take care of the Colonel
Okay,
because
that's right. Okay.
here we are. We're turning
right,
into
Jimmy,
like
yes,
staff at this place. We got to find out who murdered these people.
We are staff at this place, but you are right. You are right. And I'm with Dr. Reynolds. Byron, let's get those lights on.
All right.
All right. So you go back out the back door, which is still off its hinges. Nothing really seems to have changed since last night when you came through here. Again, there's 4 buildings in the back of the house. There's the maintenance shed, which is where you found the gasoline. There's the generator shed, which contains the generator, and then there's the 2 cabins that are now abandoned. You, just as a reminder, you did take a pile of, or a box from Ebenezer's cabin to look at later. And then as a reminder also, when you entered or left, I can't remember now, at some point you had passed through this door and you had found a dead cat that was in much the same condition as the unfortunate Melba.
Yeah.
And also, since then, I guess I said nothing much has changed, but there's been a slight change in that it seems that the foliage around the cat has blackened and withered a little more since you passed through the night before.
Wow, that's
I'm no biologist, but that's weird.
okay. First things first. Jimmy and Clark, you gonna take
Yes.
Velvet? While we stay close, why don't the 2 of us look in that box? You have Ebenezer's box, right? Maybe Velvet could take a look inside.
Let's search the box.
All right, so who's trying to restart the generator?
Okay, so me and Clark, but Clark, you gotta you gotta you gotta put fuel in it. I got the broken left hand.
No.
All right, so I am gonna need you to roll, one of you, to give me a successful electrical or mechanical repair.
Okay, I'll do that. Let's see what I have.
You say that so quickly, Bill, but you don't know what your role is.
I know I might blow things up here.
You did last time.
I have both of those too.
Well, mechanical repair, I have a 40, so.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
that's pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how you failed so badly last time, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I forgot to Discord up. Hold on.
Go ahead. I only got a 10 with my broken hand.
Oh, 26.
There you go.
Nice.
All right. Well done. So the problem is that you banged it up a little bit. Yeah. So, but I guess a 26 out of 40. So you do get it going. It sounds a little like rickety, honestly. Like, you put some dents in it and it's sort of chugging along, but it seems to be working. So,
Great.
So in the meantime, you were telling me that you wanted to look through the box that you took
Yeah,
out of-
so we found that box in Ebenezer's apartment, and we didn't really look through it at But yeah, let's look through it and see if we find anything interesting or relevant.
Okay. There's,
We do spot hidden or
it's just a box of. I just have to find.
Clock. Good job.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't blow up, Sergeant.
Yeah.
So it's a tin box. There's a collection of letters. You can sort of glance through. They're all mostly, uninteresting to you, except for one that I'm going to find and put in. Here it is. I'm putting this in Discord.
People at home won't see this, but we got a Discord open where our keeper gives us some info.
If anyone out there can hear us, we're on Dr. Brewer's island with the sanatorium and we need some serious help.
We do.
Just putting it out there into the world.
All right, so I'm putting it in Discord for perusal and reading.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it bigger. Hold on. Whoa.
Sorry about shadow from my cell phone.
All right.
You want me to read it out loud, or you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dear Ebenezer, I'm leaving this letter with friends at port, and I'm sure you'll get it when you return home. I'll probably be gone by then and don't know when I'll see you, so I'll wish you good luck now. In this envelope is a small present. It's a good luck charm given to me by one of those... What? Canalies?
Catechist, maybe?
What?
Catechees?
Catechees? Yeah.
Catechees.
We ran into in the islands. I don't know if it's any damn good, but I always wore it, especially any time I was around those islands. It's been said that some of the ships that sailed out of Innsmouth had something similar attached to their bottoms. I don't know what my address will be, but after get to Cincinnati, I'll write to let you know. There's a typo there.
Yeah.
Your friend William.
Willie. Was it William or Willie?
I thought it was
William, and it's dated 1896, so that's fairly old.
Oh,
fairly
right.
old.
So that would be from what, 30 years ago, I guess.
Yeah. About.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't recall if we searched Ebenezer. I'm curious if he has some sort of special necklace.
Yeah, I don't remember searching him either. It was dark and terrifying, and I was in the depths of despair. So.
All right, Clark, you ready? We're gonna go search a body, apparently.
Yeah.
No, wait, are we?
I thought we were looking for this medallion. It wasn't in the box, right?
I'm assuming there wasn't any.
There was only letters in the box.
I mean, we could look through his stuff in his cabin first, I suppose.
It's just his body is awfully far away.
Yeah. Can we maybe look around the cabin to see if we see anything in the drawers or anything?
All stuff hidden.
All right. I guess I'll do it.
And we got so Anna out of game.
No.
If there's something we're ridiculously missing, that would be so much easier. You could throw us a little GM hint.
It was cost you,
that there was gasoline.
I just gave you a letter that was important enough for the people who wrote the scenario to make into a handout.
Yeah.
Well
There you
point
go,
well taken.
Jimmy.
Well
There
taken.
you go.
So I don't know what more you want from me.
So, wow.
So I mean, either from this letter, it sounds like maybe Ebenezer might have something of value around his neck, or I don't know. Was the boat sunk?
Yeah.
We could
The boat was
still
sunk.
see it though, right?
I wonder. Well, they said some boats, I guess, have a symbol on their bow or something.
Oh, I'm an excellent swimmer. So if we really need it, I could swim out.
Clark, this Velvet lady, she's really smart.
She's so smart.
Yeah. Don't
Just
underestimate her.
because someone is a
Glad we have
lovely
her around.
Clark and Jimmy, just because someone is a lovely young starlet does not mean that they are not bright.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, how do you think I got to where I am?
That's right.
Well, where you are is on an island where a whole bunch of people have been murdered.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that's
Joke's on me.
smart you are. You're sitting on this island.
I'm gonna have real words with my agent when I get home.
So Byron, from what you looked at last night, do we need to be concerned about getting anyone medicated before breakfast today?
Right. So anything in there?
You know, Byron, that Mrs. Randolph does need regular doses of sedatives.
Okay.
And with regards to other medication, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the patients. I'm going to assume that you looked at all of the patients in the sanatorium.
Okay.
Blanche is very healthy. She doesn't need regular medication, but she can be dangerous if she feels that she's being treated poorly. But as Dr. Mumsey already discovered, that a little psychoanalysis will talk her out of those sulks.
Okay.
Then you have Henry Adam Barber. You met him briefly last night. He wasn't very pleased to see you. He's a manic depressive. He can have suicidal tendencies. And if he's in a suicidal state, then there's medication that he can take, but he doesn't need it administered regularly. You have Colonel Billings. The only thing wrong with him is that he's completely senile. He's 92 years old.
Okay.
There's nothing actually sort of psychologically wrong with him, except that he just needs constant care because he cannot care for himself.
Okay.
Mrs. Randolph, as I mentioned, she suffers from hallucinations and paranoia.
Oh boy.
And she needs regular mild sedation every few hours.
Yep. We learned that.
And you've got Alan Harding. He's the gentleman that you discovered in the room with the symbol on the wall. So this is now, if you remember, Dr. Oh gosh, now I've forgotten the doctor's name too.
Brewer. Dr. Brewer.
Thank you, Dr. Brewer. My brain is Swiss cheese tonight. Dr. Brewer had taken on some special patients that he was trying experimental therapies on. Alan Harding was one of those, and you actually found, in fact, I'm going to give you another
handout.
I'm going to give you another handout. It's quite long, but I think that you should all have it now because, in fairness, Dr. Byron would have found these excerpts last night. So I'm giving you excerpts from the 3 so-called pro bono clients, patients.
Okay.
Tell me if you can read this, and if not, I'll take the picture in smaller chunks.
Maybe.
Maybe I should just do it in smaller chunks.
Oh yeah, we've got all the lines.
You've got all the lines, but they're teeny.
No, you click on it, it comes up. I can read it.
All right. Well, if you need anything enlarged,
that's pretty good.
So basically, the important stuff that you know about the patient downstairs in the basement wing is in this handout.
So we have Darlene, Alan Harding, and Leonard's down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Mumsy, I'm sure, remembers because she's way smarter than the woman who plays her. But who is Henry Allen again?
Henry Allen is, you mean Henry Adam Barber?
Henry Adam Barber, yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy who snapped at us when
he's 28 years old. He's heir to the Barber paper company fortune, but grew to be such a problem for his father that he was the elder Barber was forced to have him committed to Brewer's care. He's quite antisocial, manic depressive, not particularly dangerous to anyone other than himself. but not particularly. He doesn't get along very well with the other patients or the nurses, but yeah, what you've learned about him.
Okay.
Physically, he's healthy.
How about our Darlene? Is Darlene in there?
Darlene, I gave you an excerpt. So just to sort of summarize, she is very interesting. She was found wandering around in an alley in Boston completely naked with no memory of who she is or anything about herself. She doesn't know her last name. There have been repeated attempts to identify her, and they've all failed. She's probably in her late 20s, but nobody knows. She can be hypnotized, as Dr. Brewer has discovered. But essentially, under hypnosis, it seems like she's claiming other personalities or perhaps past lives, if you believe in that kind of thing. So she has a couple of interesting ones that Dr. Brewer has written about in her file. He's cataloged at least 27 different personalities over the course of treating her. But the one that Dr. Brewer is most personally interested in claims to be called Anaphis. And if you believe her, she is apparently a princess of Egypt who's been dead for over 3,000 years. And the reason that Dr. Brewer found that so amazing, and not just perhaps a delusion, is that that personality has some pretty interesting knowledge of Egyptian history that she might not have. I mean, it would be unusual for someone in Darlene's position to know such things. And perhaps most interesting was that she actually accurately predicted the finding of King Tutankhamun's tomb before it was announced. She had read in the newspaper that there was some plans to explore the area, and she told Dr. Brewer that they would find a tomb there, and then they did. So he found that very curious. That's Darlene.
Byron, fascinating, right? Up your alley with all these interesting ideas. Maybe a Jungian idea of like some kind of, oh, I'm sorry, just getting all excited about the potentials, but we have other things to think
about. And then I guess just to round out the group, so you have Alan Harding, and he is, you learn from the files, a poet, published only one book of poetry, and then basically like dropped out of sight and essentially disappeared for 6 months. Eventually someone found him in a drug and alcohol stupor, and he's completely, in Dr. Brewer's professional opinion, he's completely deranged, really beyond hope of any sort of traditional therapies. Perhaps because of drug use, it's hard to tell, but Dr. Brewer did try some of the hypnosis therapies that he had been trying on Darlene. He tried some of that with Alan Harding, but did not find any other personalities other than one. So where Darlene has dozens of other personalities, Alan Harding always reverts to the same one. That personality speaks in a deep, intelligent voice, very commanding and quite unlike Harding's own voice. Sometimes the personality doesn't speak at all, but the changed face and expression of the subject indicates that it's there.
Wow.
It usually doesn't answer any questions, but makes statements that are very dark, like predictions of doom and the coming of he who waits. And then you have Leonard Hawkins. That's Velvet LaBouche's very special friend.
Very special.
He suddenly had a nervous breakdown, passed out for more than a week, and then once he came out of his, semi-coma, he displayed signs of paranoia and was not even able to recognize his own wife for a few days, although his memory did eventually seem to come back. But then basically after this breakdown, his personality completely changed. He joined an obscure cult and tried to get his family to join. He lost his job. He quit his own church and was preaching on the streets, and basically his family then left him. And eventually he was arrested for assaulting police officers, but maybe as a result of his wife leaving him, or maybe as a result of this paranoia and personality change, he actually has a really deep-seated misogyny now, and so he does not take kindly to women in his presence.
I didn't realize my uncle wanted to be around all these strange people.
You didn't?
No, I knew he was
Very
studying.
Brilliant, kind man.
These people got some serious problems.
Now, Alan Harding's the one with the thing on the wall, right, Kate? Right, Keeper?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Alan Harding, he's the one with the bloody hands from the wall?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's obviously acting out something he dreamt or he believes from this cult.
So it's interesting. So both Mr. Hawkins and Mr. Harding made reference to "He Who Waits."
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, Reynolds, Mr. Reynolds, Dr. Reynolds, do you know anything about that?
Can I do a check on that? You might have any information on what that means?
Oh, yeah.
You can give me an occult roll. Do you have an occult score?
I have occult 20%.
Oh, all right. Try it. Do you have a Cthulhu Mythos score? I'm guessing not.
I don't.
All right. Give me an occult.
Dr. Byron, you don't need Dr. Reynolds, you don't need to check that out. I know who He Who Waits is.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
Yeah, my drill sergeant. He always said, I'm waiting.
I'm sorry, Sergeant. We're not in the Army right now.
Oh.
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
15.
Wow. You succeeded your occult roll? Oh boy. All right, let's see.
Almost. I have a 20, so it's a regular success.
All right. Well, you don't have any specific knowledge about the one who waits or he who waits, but you have a pretty strong hunch that whatever either personality or whatever is possessing Mr. Harding is probably what he was trying to let through that portal you made.
So you all don't really think that something came through that wall, do you? You think we should destroy that wall?
The interesting thing is there's two things. There's the coming of he who waits, and the other one says coming of those who wait.
Uh-oh. Okay, so that was Ginger.
Does that mean that so does that mean we're talking about two, like some big servant and some little servants? Or...
Well, some people did some sort of strange sacrifice out in the woods.
Coming for those who, and the coming of those who wait.
Yeah, it's starting to look like.
I'm not talking about the source of knowledge of the coming of those who wait.
So, doctors, I don't know if I should suggest this, but are either of you familiar with hypnosis? Have you ever hypnotized anyone before?
That's a good question.
Ooh. Because I'm wondering if we could possibly get more information from one of the individuals here.
Strongly encourage at least one of you to take a hypnosis skill. I feel like that happened during character creation.
I don't have a hypnosis skill, but I'm very good at psychoanalysis.
Hypnosis?
Hypnosis isn't on the list.
No, it's not on the list, but I think. Well, let me see the chart for a second.
Oh, look, I've got 65.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Oh, really?
What?
Just kidding.
What? Maybe not. I could have sworn I had that. I feel like I had a conversation with somebody about like science and psychiatry.
No,
but I don't see it now.
I have
medicine.
psychoanalysis, psychology, but there's no hypnosis.
Ginger has
You
that
don't have
psycho. I mean, I'm sorry. Mumsy has the psychoanalysis
Mhm.
In psychology?
and psychology.
I have psychology also.
All right. Actually, you know what? I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it here. So, any character in the medical profession has a chance to have a hypnotism skill. So, what I need our two doctors to do for me right now is roll your education score.
Okay.
All right. She'll be right back in a second.
Patience
Okay.
score.
That's the EDU score at the top, not a
Oh,
skill.
right.
It's one of your it's one of your
About
attributes.
75. Okay, that's good. All right, let me roll mine.
I failed the 75 earlier, so.
I know. Hopefully, one of us will make this.
Mm-hmm.
38.
Well done.
All right. So now roll a 1d20 for me, and I'll tell you what your hypnotism score is.
Okay. Four.
Nah. All right. You have a hypnotism skill of 34.
Okay.
And when Mumsy gets back, she will also roll. Anyone else who wants to see if you just happen to have picked up some like hypnosis tips along the way, you can also roll your EDU for me, but you're going to have to make an extreme success.
Extreme.
Okay, I'm gonna roll also.
1/5 of your education score would be an extreme success.
I did it.
Oh,
Are you kidding me? You did it? He did it.
Oh, group of
All right. All right. Roll a d20.
All right. There you go.
But you're not going to have the
What
same.
happened, David?
Velvet
Velvet is smart.
Velvet must have been attending those hypnotism parties.
Right?
Oh, who are we hypnotizing?
All right. So you have a 24 hypnotism.
Okay, you need to roll education. 64 or below.
I need to roll education 64.
Yep. Mumsy's rolling education and failed by 1.
Oh,
Use luck.
I
you
can
should
push my luck, right?
Just
I
use
would
one
just
luck
spend
point.
a luck point to do that.
Yeah, so I'll spend a luck point to meet that.
All right. And so now roll a d20 and I'll tell you what your hypnotism score is.
Right. Low is good in this game, right?
Low is good.
Okay,
but
2.
not. So you have a hypnotism skill of 32.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So we have some budding hypnotists in the group.
Okay.
I don't know if Clark and Jimmy want to give it a shot.
I
No,
rolled.
that's
I
it.
didn't get it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Clark, you said you
So,
rolled 2?
so
Yeah, I rolled 58.
what those of you who are hypnotists know about hypnotism is that the target must be willing, and you can only use it against a single individual at a time. The target must be physically close to the hypnotist.
Right.
We got that
If the-
sedatives.
If the hypnosis roll fails, the hypnotist is never able to hypnotize that particular subject. So you can't keep trying, basically.
Mm.
But if the initial hypnosis roll succeeds, you can hypnotize that particular target whenever they agree. Right.
Wow.
So it's either permanent fail or permanent succeed.
And there's no.
Push. Bad shit happens if you fail the second roll, but you can push everything except for combat rolls.
Okay.
In fact, you might even be able to push combat rolls. I think it's you can't spend luck on combat rolls.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
my rule book is right there, but
How about that?
I don't care enough to look
Yeah.
at it.
Okay. Interesting. Who are we going to hypnotize? I guess maybe.
Leonard Hawkins.
Well, I don't think. I mean, I think one of the guys is Dr. Reynolds is going to have to try him because he doesn't like me very much. I'm not sure if he likes Muncie.
Sure.
Why did you say Leonard, Jimmy?
Because he knows something about the things, though. They're waiting. The people that are whatever's waiting for us.
Oh, you think it's part of his religious background?
Yeah. Let's find out.
Okay. What do you think, Doc?
You want me to try?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should ask him what the Baptists got wrong, because it said that the thing that you read said that he was in the Baptists.
Yes.
Like an extreme wing of Baptists. The concept of extreme Baptists is somewhat foreign to me.
He's right. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
But they're super extreme Baptists, and he called them idiots, I guess. Right?
I feel the need to do a disclaimer for those watching on Twitch, since this is now no longer just the six of us. I intend no disrespect to any particular religious group.
That's right.
Yeah. That's just part of the reading. That's part of the background of one of the characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Dr. Mumsy did excuse herself to briefly disappear behind a bush, but I would like to just say that, and this is Mumsy.
No, there are bathrooms in the cabins.
Yeah. All right.
The outhouse. Actually, there was an outhouse, but yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, well, she used that. I wasn't sure. She's just nervous about going too far away from y'all. But Mumsy, speaking as Mumsy, I just want to say I understand our eagerness, and this is a horrible situation. At the same time, maybe we should at least do the rounds, even if we just peek through the windows. I mean, we need to make sure these folks are even still alive. We haven't even been downstairs yet, right?
Probably that's true, yeah.
I just want to jump in. I got distracted by sending you the long excerpts and sort of discussed the backstory of the three special patients, but I got distracted from telling Dr. Byron about their medicinal need. Basically, the other person who needs regular sedatives is Leonard Hawkins. So Mrs. Randolph and Leonard Hawkins are going to need to be regularly medicated, and then other patients may need medication, on an as-needed basis, but they don't need, sort of the round, I guess.
I got an idea. I'd like to open it up to the party, to the group of very educated people here. Why don't you guys work this hypnotism magic thing you got going on? Clark and I will go down to Ebenezer and see if he's wearing that medallion.
Sounds like a plan.
There is a very large murderer on the island, God.
I got a gun.
So, yeah, I guess
Yep.
so am
And I have my knife.
Do you have a gun, Byron?
I do.
That's why we left you in the room.
What's that?
That's why Byron did not complain.
That's why we left you in the room? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's why Byron opted to be left in the room.
Guns work in the dark.
Guns work in the dark.
Guns work in the dark.
You're lucky he didn't shoot you when you came to let him out.
Me?
Any of you. That decision is never going to be okay, but all right.
Not going to be okay with me.
You agreed to it, Byron. You certainly
Totally agreed.
No, I complained at the time.
I was not in my right mind, apparently.
Violence equals consent, I guess.
It's apparently
He saw all that paperwork, that research materials, and he just went,
He went crazy.
Yeah, zoned out. Well, he got you a lot of very useful information.
Yes,
so.
you did, Byron. So,
stuff that I would have never found.
Perhaps we should.
Worth my sanity.
Perhaps we should at least take care of the basic needs of the patients. Or
so we're gonna split the party, I guess, and do those two things.
Oh man, I don't like it. Mumsy's uncomfortable.
Let's give.
I think for expeditious.
The keeper was very happy about that, by the way, about us splitting the party.
I'm sorry, who's happy, Clarkus?
No, I said the keeper looks very happy about us splitting the party.
It's going to shorten the game considerably, I bet.
Yeah. If one of us dies, do we go play a different game?
Yeah.
One of you dies, I can airdrop a replacement in or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh look.
A Zeppelin crashes.
Zeppelin crashes.
Oh, what good fortune for you! You survived the crash. Okay.
Robinson Crusoe lands.
All right. So the doctors are going to go and administer medication and take care of the basic needs of the patients as indicated in Dr. Brewer's files. And then Jimmy and Clark are going to go search Ebenezer. What is Velvet LaBouche going to do?
Yeah, which group would you like to go with?
Velvet, I want to go with Mumsy and Dr. Reynolds.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. Maybe.
So as the group of doctors in Velvet go in, you can hear basically a dinner gong going off from the dining room. So your choice, you can go and speak to Blanche about breakfast, or you can go, you are going to have to go up to Dr. Brewer's office to get the medication that Mrs. Randolph and Leonard need. And then you're going to assume that probably Colonel Billings is going to need some tending to, because he is he's incontinent and cannot get out of bed on his own, and yeah.
So it sounds like it would be prudent for us to at least swing by Blanche and update her on some of the basics so she feels respected and
okay.
part of the team.
So as you enter the dining room, Blanche says, thanks for getting the power back on. So good job. And where's everybody else?
They went looking for Ebenezer because he didn't seem to show up, and he wasn't in his cottage. So we just wanted to make sure he's safe. So the two younger fellas went off to bring him in for breakfast.
All right, and you gave all the medication to everyone who needs it, because I don't want Mrs. Randolph crying into the breakfast. She's really very she's very depressing to be around.
I have to tell you, Blanche, it's been quite the learning curve for us. I mean, we just got here, so we were going to work on that right now. But we wanted to check in with you first.
Okay.
Since you cooked this beautiful meal, we just wanted to let you know what's going on.
Thank you. Well, why don't you, I'll just leave this on the stove. This will keep, and I guess I can help maybe get Colonel Billings ready for breakfast.
Oh, that would be great.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm just going to take the key off of Bobby's body. He has that extra key ring, so I can go into the room. Is that cool?
Byron, what do you think? Oh, we don't want to stress you like that, Blanche. I mean, it's so disturbing. The police may want to see his body undisturbed.
Oh,
when they arrive. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay, well, someone's got to come and help me get into his room then, because it's still locked.
I have a thought. Why don't you come upstairs with us, and you and I can discuss patient care while Velvet helps Dr. Reynolds get the meds.
Wait, his room? Yeah. You mean which room? His bedroom? Which room is she talking about?
Oh, yeah, you want me to show you where the medicine cabinet is? Come on. And she starts working out.
We found it. We found it last night. We did find it last night, Blanche, when you told us to get the medicine for...
in fact, Dr. Brewer probably has all the doses prepared already.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Where would they be?
I mean, he should have them.
Oh.
Sure. Did we tell her last night what happened to Dr.
No, we did not.
We mentioned it, but she may not remember.
Before or after the psychoanalysis?
Maybe before. Well, I mean, she's expecting us to do it, so she must know that Dr. Brewer is not here.
I thought we told her.
Oh, Dr. Brewer is here.
Oh, that's true. He is here.
It's a good thing these two are gone, Jimmy. So that's
broke the news to her. I forgot that part.
I thought we had two.
I think we told her, but it's unclear to me whether or not we told her before or after she kind of got cold down from reality.
We certainly did not describe the state of his body.
Yeah,
no.
I thought that her first cold dose of reality was coming across bottle.
No, yes, we have not discussed it this morning, no.
Right.
Yeah, so Blanche, why don't I don't want to go too far from Dr. Reynolds and Velvet in case they need our assistance, but why don't we head toward Dr. Brewer's office, and while they get the goods, you can explain to me more about the daily routine.
Yeah,
here.
that's a good idea too. And then actually Melba might be up there making up your rooms. I hope you found all your guest rooms really comfortable. Melba worked hard on making them all up for you.
Oh, we had such a strange night. I can't even begin, Blanche. Why don't we head up and...
It was very comfortable. You know, I wonder if perhaps Dr. Mumpsy, you could have Blanche show you some of the other rooms in that north or east, or whatever it is called, the hallway in that room, while Dr.
Well, no, the guest rooms are right up the stairs on the north wall.
Yes.
You found them, right?
Yes, we did.
It was so dark last night, Blanche.
Yeah.
I tell you, it
But
was just so
there's some
dark.
other rooms in the hallway where Dr. Brewer's office is. But I wonder if perhaps you might show Dr. Mumpsy those rooms, and
I mean, that's okay with me, I suppose. So you head upstairs, and are you sending Dr. Reynolds into the office to do the medicine?
Are you locking me in to do it?
Would you like us
maybe
to?
I could
No!
sort of block
You have a
the
gun.
door a little bit, and like kind of
Yeah.
keep an eye on Mumpsy, and then assuming Dr. Reynolds is okay to just walk.
Oh, that's a good idea, Velvet. So you'll be like in the hallway, keeping an eye on both of us, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm
Blanche is
willing.
moving up the stairs, and if you're following her, then as she comes up the
Oh,
stairs,
no. I'm sorry, Keeper, but Mumsy would want to make sure she was not the first up the stairs.
Oh, okay. Because she thought that you asked her to show you around.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Other
But we're
room.
gonna let Byron. Why don't you run up ahead, dear?
Sure.
All right, so he's going to go to the office. So she's going up, and she sort of gestures to the left as you come up the staircase to the north wall. And in the light, you can now see there's 3 doors on the north wall. She goes, you know, I assume Melba's in there making up your beds. And then she gestures to the right. She goes, of course, Bobby, Nurse Ames, and Dr. Brewer's rooms are on this side. And then here is doctor's office in the examination wing. So she sort of walks off. This is the examination room. This is his office, of course. Have you closed the door, Dr. Byron?
Yeah, and I'd like to just sort of block the door with my body.
Okay.
We actually didn't stay in our guest rooms last night. It was so dark, and we were so upset about what happened to Bobby. We wound up staying in a room downstairs. So I really do appreciate you showing me the guest rooms now.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't want you to think, we're hiding anything from you, because we actually didn't.
We are.
Jimmy is not present.
Out of game as the keeper, you actually did stay upstairs. I don't know if you forgot that or if you're lying to her.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I thought the room was downstairs. We stayed in
We
Bobby's
stayed
room.
in like Bobby Birch's room or something like
Okay,
that.
no,
or-
I don't intend to lie. I forgot that was upstairs.
You found a room that seemed to belong to a male nurse, and then you continued searching, and you found a larger room that seemed to be, more nicely appointed, with a large bed and everything. So that was the room you stayed in. That was off. She's gesturing over to the right, and it was in the south side of the house. So you stayed in one of those rooms that she gestured to that would belong to Bobby, Catherine, and Dr. Brewer.
Okay, so it was probably Dr. Brewer's room.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
But anyway, so
would
just to
you
remind
mind
you.
showing me the guest rooms, Blanche, so
Okay.
we could do it properly tonight?
So Blanche you want just Mumpsy and Velvet, I guess, or is Velvet doing
Velvet
it?
will stay behind. I actually want to check on Dr. Reynolds. Dr. Reynolds, how are you doing with the medicine?
How am I doing with the medicine?
I think that what you're doing is fairly standard stuff for a psychiatrist. So I think you can, now that you have the file, you can easily put together what doses the 2 patients need of sedatives. So you're doing fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
We're doing good.
So is there enough time that can be done and we can all go together?
Yeah, it shouldn't take long. Yeah. So Blanche is just basically going to show Mumsy, there's 3 rooms. They've all been, they're plain-ish, but they look comfortable. And of course, they're still freshly made because no one slept in them last night. So that is evidently where you were intended to stay. There's 5 of you, and so the 2 of the rooms have essentially 2 twin beds in them, and one is a single. It's unclear who was meant to stay where, but perhaps that would have been something that would have been figured out by your host had he been around to greet you.
He wasn't dead.
Wow. So as we head downstairs to help Mrs. Randolph with her meds,
It's your turn for a jump scare tonight, I guess.
Did that scare you?
Yes, it did, David. We are talking to Blanche in this soft woman's voice. So Byron and Velvet should be my hope is to understand a little bit better how the day here works. Maybe Blanche could help us with that as we walk.
Sure. So you go back down to the patient's wing with the medication. I mean, Blanche can kind of tell you it's not anything that you probably haven't gleaned from the files, but the 2 patients who need regular sedatives are Mrs. Randolph and Leonard. Other than that, the doors get unlocked at 8 o'clock for breakfast, as she mentioned previously. Most of the patients are allowed free reign of the house, although Dr. Brewer always keeps a close eye on Leonard, and also a close eye on Henry Adam Barber, mostly because if he's, if he's thinking of self-harm, then that's something that, he doesn't, he wants to be on top of. But as you saw last night, Darlene is allowed to walk around. I mean, that's all that Blanche really knows is that Dr. Brewer, Blanche doesn't care for either Leonard Hawkins or Henry Adam Barber, but she seems fond of the others.
Aww. Well,
And then she says, lunch will be served at 12:30, and then we have supper at 6:30.
And no other organized activities between Blanche, just lunch and dinner?
Well, no, I mean, there's the library that the patients are free to use. They can walk around the grounds. There is a path around the island. You may have heard that there's a bird watcher staying with us at the moment. I think Ebenezer might have mentioned that.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
He's camped up on the north of the island, and so sometimes if the patients feel like getting a lot of exercise, they can walk up there, and he's been very kind and showing them, any of them who have an interest, showing them sort of birds. And there's a shipwreck on the beach up north. So there's things to walk around and look at. The island itself is only about a mile and a half from north to south. So, obviously Colonel Billings can't make that, he just will get pushed around in the immediate grounds. But, some of our more active patients, I personally, Blanche, I don't walk that far. I don't care for it because I like to be around to be helpful to Dr. Brewer, but I know Darlene likes to walk, and occasionally Henry Barber.
Okay, that was very helpful information.
That was. I just don't know what's safe. What, Velvet and Blanche and Dr. Reynolds, what's safe to do with the patients today with a murderer running around? Are they safer if we bring the meals in their rooms? Like, what do we do? How do we handle this?
Blanche appears to be thinking about it. You can tell that she's really unhappy about, having her routine disrupted. I suppose I can see your point. if one of the patients is the murderer, then that person should not be let out. And if they're not, then they are in danger, I suppose. But
That's my main concern. I mean, to be honest,
I mean,
everyone here.
who do you think did it? I think it was Leonard.
Do you? It could have been, I guess. I don't know, Blanche. I guess to be very honest, I'm not personally. I'm not worried about one of the patients being a murderer. I'm concerned about their safety. Like if people wander around, how do we?
Well, where's Charles Johnson? He's really big and he can protect. I mean, he's stationed downstairs in the downstairs wing because of the fact that, you know, Leonard is so violent and because Alan Hawkins is a little bit, you know,
Oh, boy.
you know, he's not really dangerous, Alan Hawkins, but anyway, that's why Dr. Brewer hired Charles Johnson because he can handle, like when Leonard really goes off, then Charles Johnson can just wrestle him to the ground. And he's big. He's a big guy. Where's he? He could protect us.
Velvet, Byron, would you like to pipe up?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm dominating. Yeah.
No, I'm perfectly happy with you handling this.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've seen Charles. Is that right?
While
No,
you
we
guys are
haven't.
discussing, because I've been neglecting Jimmy and Clark, so you are walking down. Yeah, more water. You're just walking back down to the dock, right? To try and fetch Ebenezer's body. Okay.
Out of game. I mean, that is where Ebenezer was, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When you in one of the first, or in either the first or the second session, when you first figured out that all was not well.
Yeah.
One of the first things you did was try to go back to the dock to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yes, exactly.
And you saw that the boat had been scuttled.
Excuse me, you're not there.
No, I'm saying I was definitely in favor of the getting out of Dodge thing on the basis of the fact I'm something like 67 years old and incapable of protecting these people. Single best thing I could do is get the police.
So anyway, unless you want to do anything else on your way, you're going to walk down the stone steps of that cliff back down to the little dock area, and Ebenezer's body is still there.
Do we hear any screaming from the woods or anywhere?
Give me a listen roll.
Oh. Hey! See? You never know what you're going to uncover. I rolled a 0-1. You hear nothing.
David, roll.
I rolled a 29. My listen is 20.
31 for me.
You're not there.
Oh, I'm not there. That's right. I'm still listening.
You can listen if you want. I mean, you know, all of you can listen.
You can listen to the chinking medicine as you get it
right.
ready.
I'm doing medicine.
I rolled a 98. That's a critical fail?
That would be really bad.
That is almost a fumble, but I'll let you get away with it. So anyway, you don't hear anything. And you get back to everything is pretty much as you left it. So you had left your luggage stacked up there. It's still there. Velvet had gone through to take some key items out. For example, she wanted to change into her boots.
Wow. Anna, you have a great memory.
Some things I remember, and then some things I completely forget. So this is the group effort. In any event, and the boat, which you had seen was scuttled, is now completely submerged. So it's not visible, but Ebenezer is here. So if you want to look on his body, are you doing anything in particular?
We're looking for that necklace, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Gonna look around his neck?
Yeah.
All right, I won't make you do a spot hidden roll for something that specific. You do find a charm around his neck. So it is carved from a seashell, suspended on a chain. I do not have, sadly, any details to give you about what it looks like, but it looks very interesting.
Looks very interesting, you said?
Yeah, I don't have any details. I'm sorry. If I was quicker on my feet, I would have thought of something, but I'm not.
All right. So I guess is it like on a? You said it's on a chain.
Yeah.
So
I stepped out in case you were holding back on my behalf.
it might have a clasp on the back. I say to Ebenezer, hey, sorry, fella, but we're gonna take this your charm here. We need to do some research on it. We got to bring it up to the Doc Reynolds and Doc. What's your last name?
Mumsford.
Mumsford. All right. Sorry, dude, but we taking it.
Ebenezer doesn't say anything back because he's dead.
I know, but I just
How did he die?
I feel like I got to be polite
Jimmy
to the
is
dead.
very polite to the dead.
So
You were looking at me like you were expecting a response. So
I wasn't expecting
this
one.
game.
It
You
is
never
good.
know, right?
You never know.
to confirm, he says nothing.
Okay, thank you. So I guess I kneel down. Oh, darn it! I got a broken left hand. Maybe Clark, you want to take it off?
Journalist with you. Maybe Clark.
Yeah, so I'll take the necklace. I mean the also just try to see if there's anything anything else of value of note, like his pockets, etc.
Yeah, I'll check the pockets on one side while he's taking the thing, and I guess Clark will check the pockets on the other side.
You find another ring of keys, but nothing else of value.
Now
this is a smaller ring. It doesn't appear to have like all the keys with numbers on them, so it doesn't look like he has patient room keys, but it looks like a set of house keys, maybe the shed. So
The boat.
maybe the boat.
I forgot how was he killed?
It appears that something crushed his head from behind.
Oh, okay. All right. So Clark, you got the medallion?
Yeah, I got the medallion. I'm wondering if this Charles Johnson guy is the one responsible for all of this. His his file seemed like he was kind of sketchy in the first place. So I wonder why your uncle would have hired him in the first place, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I haven't visited my uncle in years, so I really didn't know that he was doing all this weird stuff.
Yeah, I think we need to find this guy. I don't believe in this occult stuff.
I wonder if he's the one that was sacrificed last night.
Or did the sacrificing.
I have a right mind.
Are Jimmy and Clark, are you done at the dock, or are you heading back, or is there any more searching you want to do, or any more anything?
So
now, did we check the boathouse or wherever the boat was? Or was the boat tied to the dock itself?
It was scuttled and set back out to sea.
But I recall when Ebenezer dropped us off, I thought that he was going to bring the boat to the boathouse or something.
He said that. And I can't remember if you looked at it or not, but you can. I mean, it's there. It's not far from the dock.
We might as well anything of interest. We might as well search.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fairly small and nondescript. It seems to be exactly the size of one boat, and that's the boat that you no longer have access to. Go ahead and give me a luck roll, both of you.
I do have something else I want to look for when we're done with this luck roll. If I can find my luck. Oh yeah, that's right. It's on the top.
Well, I rolled a 96.
That's not good.
I rolled a 34 out of 40.
That's good.
All right, so you're going to find something lucky. What can I give you?
A boat with a handwriting.
I have a great idea. You can help me see footprints, bloody footprints walking away from the scene of the crime, and we can get a shoe size.
For that, you're going to have to give me a spot hidden, or if there's some kind of investigate. Let me see your thing. No, I guess it's all investigating, isn't it?
I guess spot hidden would be it.
Yeah, I guess a spot hidden or I guess survival or navigate if you're trying to track something. And I'm gonna give you you find a board with like a rusty nail sticking out of it that you could fashion into like a real crude blunt weapon, essentially. So I would give you, if you wanted to take that with you, this is as a result of your luck roll.
I got a gun.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone else wanted something, I would give you a 1d8 plus 2 damage for that nail sticking out of the plank.
I'll pick it up and bring it to the house.
All right. As for the footprints question, roll me either a spot hidden or a survival or a navigate.
Ooh. Survival 50. Here we go. 65.
Womp womp.
Well, I'll roll a spot hidden. I only have a 25 on that. And I rolled a 56, so I failed.
Jimmy, you got to push it. You know you want to.
No.
Oh, for it.
He's going to fall
Worst
into
thing that
water.
can happen.
He's going to fall into water.
What exactly are you doing to like look more carefully for bloody footprints? Like
look, rubbing his eyes so he can see the color red better.
Maybe he like eats some of the dirt near the dock. See if he tastes anything. Good.
Yeah, that's it. Eat some of the dirt.
That's true. That's true. The velvet's not there.
You could taste it. See if it tastes irony.
Tastes like a bloody footprint.
I was looking to get shoe size for you.
I think we head back. I think.
All right.
Tastes like leather.
Clark, did you want to do anything else down here?
Nah, I think we're good.
Okay.
I'll just bring this weapon just in case.
All right. So in the time it took you to walk down to the dock and do the searching and come back, then basically your counterparts have successfully, assuming this is what they wanted to do and nothing else, you can successfully administer the sedative, at least to Mrs. Johnson. I think that Leonard is going to give you a little bit more of a fight. So whoever is going to administer or attempt to administer these sedatives to Leonard Hawkins is going to have to give me a psychoanalysis roll first to get him to be compliant with you.
Why do you
And
think
if it's going to be a female, I'm going to make you do it at a disadvantage.
No, I guess I should do it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll do it. I have 45. Let's see what happens. So I will attempt to administer this to him. And I rolled a 28.
Hold on.
Okay, so you do a little psychoanalysis on Leonard, and he's basically shooting daggers at Velvet and Mumsy.
Oh, I'm hiding. I don't want to be there.
Okay. And what do you want to say to him about the situation? So he's basically like, "Who are you? What are you doing here? And where's Dr. Brewer?"
So we're colleagues of Dr. Brewer's. Dr. Brewer is indisposed right now, but we know you need your medication. So he sent us here to help you out.
You don't have anything to do with that thing that crawled past my door last night, do you?
No, not at all. Can you describe that? What thing crawled past your room?
Well, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I suppose that's...
Oh, we are in the same something.
I mean, all I know is that I heard Alan screaming from across the way, and then there was this like horribly deep voice, and then there was some more screaming, and then this thing crawled past my window, or my door, I mean.
What did it look like?
It looked... boy, how do I describe this?
I don't know.
Kind of just looked like a bunch of bubbles, but like huge.
A bunch of bubbles,
yeah,
but huge.
Yeah, like it crawled right past my door. I smelled burning.
Ugh.
And then Alan was screaming, and then he stopped screaming, and I actually don't remember a lot after that. I kind of blacked out, and then the next thing I knew, I was wandering around the grounds, and then I saw a group of people coming up to the door, and I tried to grab the young pretty one, and then Blanche locked me up, and I've been here ever since. But I guess you better give me that sedative.
Yep. Let's give him that medication.
Okay, he complies with your giving him the sedative.
Okay.
Seems a little more relaxed, but still kind of alert and wary, and not very trusting of you.
So we got a giant bubble creature rolling around. That's not good.
I mean, listen, I know it makes me sound like Mrs. Johnson upstairs, but she is legit crazy. And I saw what I saw.
Who's Mrs. Johnson at that point?
Did I say Johnson? I'm sure I meant something else. I'm so terrible with names. Mrs. Randolph.
I was like, there's another one.
No, sorry, that's keeper error. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I don't think we talked about this, but I'm wondering if do we let him out of his room, or would we have said that everyone has to stay in their room?
I would think at least Leonard stays in, but wow. Velvet, this means that whatever happened before we arrived.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least some of the things happened, right? So the things in the house happened before we got here, if he can be trusted. But then it's unclear. I mean, obviously the thing with Ebenezer happened after we were upstairs. I mean, so things have been afoot even while we're on the island, and clearly there was something going on last night.
That's true. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. I mean, Dr. Brewer was murdered before we got to the house.
We got the half burnt people.
Are you here, Jimmy?
Oh,
I keep hearing Jimmy's voice.
Yeah, I think they came back. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So we're all, yes, you're right, Jimmy.
It took Byron some time to do the psychoanalysis on Leonard. So in that time, when you administered, I sort of glossed over giving the medication to Mrs. Randolph. Oh, God. She was crying and talking about bats again.
Poor dear.
Clark, show them the medallion.
Not yet, dear.
Oh.
Not yet, dear. Not yet.
So
Is
anyway.
Blanche still with us?
Well, did you ask her to come with you? She was going to help Colonel Billings.
Oh, right. She's with Colonel Billings. Never mind. Speak free,
Clark, Jimmy. Show the medallion.
Yeah, doctors, please take a look at this. What do you think?
Are you doing this in front of Leonard?
Oh,
no.
Bad idea, actually.
Actually, I just called them over for a minute, and and then once they got closer, I showed them the medallion in my hand.
If you're going to leave the door open, Leonard's going to he's sedated now. But he's going to wander out.
No, we're going to lock that door, right, guys, until we decide what to do. Byron,
hey, what are you doing? It's breakfast time.
We're going to take. Well, no, I'm not. I'm not talking to him, Byron. But I just feel strong. We should
breakfast will be delivered to you this evening.
Special delivery today.
All right. He's still pretty compliant because of his medication and psychoanalysis. So he stays in his room and lets you lock him in without too much complaining.
Okay.
So where are you heading to have a conversation?
Well, I would suggest we're probably in the hall, right? Because we haven't
you're
checked
in the hall.
in on Henry yet.
Isn't there a room down the way that's empty?
Yeah.
Or did we lock someone in there last night?
The bedrooms, the guest rooms.
Yeah, well, no, we locked one of the corpses in there.
No, that was upstairs.
Oh, that was
put Melba upstairs.
Right, that's right. Well,
down here you have 4 patient rooms and 3 of them are occupied. So you have Alan, Leonard, and Darlene.
I am not interested in stepping anywhere where someone could close the door and lock us.
That's true.
And Mumsy is unanimous.
We can go back to the library.
Well, Well, let's take a quick look in first on Alan. Then I mean, I don't want to go anywhere without. Why should we leave and come back to check on Alan?
Yeah. Even he's right across the way, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The window.
Yeah, he's curled up on his bed. He looks in pretty bad shape. He doesn't appear to be awake.
All right.
He's kind of shivering.
Not much we can do about it. So, okay. Can we step down the hall and maybe you guys show us down here while we have some privacy?
Sure.
Okay.
Like at the base of the stairs.
Yeah. Let's do that. What do you have?
Okay, so we found and it looks like a carved out seashell. I don't know. I can't make anything out of it. Can you guys take a look at this?
Control.
Byron, you can roll a cult to take a look at it.
Okay. Let's see how this one goes.
It's a magical +2.
A 3.
Wow.
You got a 3?
That is an uber super duper
Extreme success. All right.
Wow.
Wow.
Well
Okay.
done.
So you can tell that this carved sign is, in fact, a protective symbol. You rolled a cult and not Cthulhu mythos, but let's see what I can tell you.
It didn't work for sure.
It's a super duper uber success. Come on.
And it does seem to be, just based on your knowledge, it seems to be intended for not just general protection, but it seems like it would actually, symbols of this type of intricacy are usually intended for protection against a specific threat.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that's all very fine and interesting, Dr. Reynolds, but the thing is that obviously didn't protect them from the threat that killed them.
Yeah, I mean, this obviously is not for protection from blunt force strikes to the back of the head.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's protection from people who might be waiting. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Plausible. Something maybe to do with the sea.
Right. Could be.
Yeah, I mean,
Ireland, based on what we read.
Byron, you would know that this would be intended against a specific, like, occult threat. So not, like a mortal wielding a heavy rock.
Not going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, right, understood.
So we have a birdwatcher and Charles yet unaccounted for, right?
And a shipwreck to investigate.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe those are definitely some of the things that we should look at.
Okay.
Do we want to maybe take a walk?
Well, we do have Blanche upstairs near
Should we
breakfast.
eat and or deliver some food?
yeah, and we have a charred corpse in one room.
Is that a child falling out of
Yeah, I'm
bed?
gonna check on the boys.
There was a loud thump from upstairs, and both of our cats are here. So,
Mhm.
Oh boy.
so you're going to potentially take breakfast to the patients.
I guess so.
I am growing in respect of my support staff, that's for sure.
So when you go upstairs, you see that Blanche has helped Colonel Billings get dressed and cleaned up, and he's sitting in a wheelchair at the dining room table.
Oh,
And she said, "I hope you don't mind, but I let him start." And she's basically spoon feeding him his breakfast. He fell out of bed now.
that is so kind of you, Blanche. Oh my goodness.
And yeah, so that's what she and the Colonel are doing, and there's no sign of anybody else.
You'll be
you left
glad to know, Blanche, that Dr. Reynolds here was able to convince Leonard to take his meds, because you were right. He definitely needed some backup there. Thank you for the
Okay.
heads up.
I'm glad he's quiet for now. Don't forget about him.
No, we won't. You've been such an enormous help. Like, oh
As
gosh,
soon as we get off this island, we're forgetting about everybody.
Jimmy. So what is the Colonel eating, and is he still alive?
Well, you said you wanted bacon and eggs, I think, so he's getting bacon and eggs.
All right.
And he looks like he's enjoying it as much as a senile 92-year-old can enjoy anything, which is, a lot when it comes to bacon and eggs.
Yes, absolutely. Who wouldn't?
Shipwreck time.
Yeah.
Breakfast
All right,
time.
so if you're going to deliver food to everybody, you're basically, tell me how you're leaving the patients if you're leaving the house. Are you leaving them fed and in their cells, fed and free, not fed and in their cells?
Fed and locked in their rooms.
Except, I guess, Blanche, I mean,
Yeah.
we could ask her. Why don't we ask her what she would prefer? Would she feel safer locked in the room? Or would she, what would you, or...
Well, you say there's a murderer about, but I know it's not me. And if you're going to lock everybody else up, then I feel okay not being locked up because I'm not going to kill myself.
Well, I personally am worried about the bird watcher and Charles.
The bird watcher
could be the murderers.
I mean, I guess he's sort of a stranger.
Yeah.
Charles, yeah. So you're saying that you haven't found Charles?
Yeah.
No.
Where's and Nurse Ames?
I think Nurse Ames died. We found her. She was dead. She was another murder victim.
That's very upsetting.
Isn't that awful? And that's why we're concerned. And I just want to leave it up to you, Blanche, because we have a lot of respect for your knowledge of how things work around here.
Wait, out of game. I figured this out. I figured it out. Blanche had problems with authority. She wants to take over the entire facility herself. She murdered all the staff.
Have you seen how much work it is taking care of these people? Who in their right mind would do
She seems good at it, and she seems to enjoy it, and she's very knowledgeable.
Plausible.
Well, God bless her, and we'll excuse ourselves.
There could be multiple things going on. There could be, mythos things going on in addition to your theory.
That is very true. Out of game, I would like to point out that Blanche was cooking dinner while Ebenezer was being murdered.
Mm.
So, but you are right, Velvet. I mean, we're out of game.
I guess if it's out of game, yeah.
So.
Okay.
That's a good point.
There was no reason to come out of game for that. Actually, as long as we were out of earshot of Blanche, Jimmy could have confided those concerns. So what do you guys think? Could we leave this up to Blanche? I feel like.
Yeah, maybe.
I would. This is Blanche speaking. I would really prefer to take Colonel Billings out on a walk around the grounds, but I understand your concern. But I just think if Leonard's locked up, I really think he's the one responsible for all of this.
Really? But
I mean, you met him. He attacked Miss LaBouche.
Now, Miss Ames Nurse Ames was hung, and that seems she was hanging, and that seems to involve. I don't know if Leonard could have done that.
She was bludgeoned. She was on the floor.
Who was hanging? She was bludgeoned behind the couch. That's right. I forgot. But she's right. It could have been Leonard.
Okay. I think I'm okay with leaving Blanche out. I guess if she wants to take the other, and maybe she could just leave her in charge of everybody.
I don't know about her going, on the grounds with the colonel though, because then they both would be exposed.
I think when we let Blanche out, we may have limited our own options,
and
I actually, Clark and Velvet, I agree with your concerns, but I feel like at this point, when am I going to how long would it take for someone to notice Ebenezer didn't come back and care enough to send someone to look? We can't keep this up by ourselves.
What happens if she takes the colonel out for a walk down by the waterfront?
Maybe we should tell her more about what happened so she knows how serious it is. What do you guys think? Actually, we can't have this conversation because we're in front of her.
Oh, I thought you stepped away.
Oh, okay. Is she okay with that? I mean, I don't want to be whispering behind.
He's feeding Colonel Billings.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Yeah, so at this point, I don't know what to say, guys, but if we're going to make the executive decision to trust her, I think we need to warn her about the severity of what's going on. And then, what do you think? Byron, what's your professional advice on this?
Oh, it might not be a bad idea to kind of let them have some normality in their what they normally do. On the other hand, we have either some sort of murderers and some sort of force roaming around the island as well, right? We don't want any other people to die.
Well, I'm an atheist, but I am very concerned about the murders, and so I agree, Clark, that I don't know. I think we should warn her. We don't want her in her wanderings to discover all these bodies. She needs to know.
You guys went looking around. You never did find that thing that shriveled up and burned that pool downstairs. So that thing, whatever that is, that's roaming around somewhere here, perhaps.
I mean, that might be the bubble creature that
could be the bubble
Leonard described.
Would that describe could there have been some kind of strange gas leak or something to do that? I mean,
all I know is every time we talk about the bubble creature, Jimmy disappears. So.
You never see the bubble creature and Jimmy at the same time. Really good point. What an investigator.
Wow. Well, I just feel that I'm okay at this point with leaving. I mean, we've already decided that Blanche can come out and we're going to. But I think if we do that, it's only fair to let her know exactly how horrible things are.
I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm comfortable with letting her out.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm comfortable with letting her out.
She's
and if you
out.
think that she can handle, and if you think she can handle the truth, then we should let her know.
I don't know if she can handle it, but it's certainly better to be told than let her find out on her own.
Yeah.
Clark, do you want to tell her the bad news? You're a journalist. You have a way with words.
I'll tell her. I do have. I mean, I don't know if I need to use my charm. I
am very powerful psychoanalyst. But I have been doing a lot of talking, so I don't. Ginger does not want to dominate.
Yeah, but at the same point.
Give me a psychology roll, please.
Okay. Oh, I failed. Should I use some luck?
How close are you?
No, I'm not. I have quite a bit of luck actually. I rolled 95, and I need 80.
15 points is a lot to you.
I have 75 luck.
I can try rolling a psychology.
I feel like I want to sort of impose another rule on top of this voluntary rule, which is that if it's like more than 5 points, you can't spend luck on it. Like I feel like that's not really what the spending luck is intended for.
Got it.
So.
Well, Mumsy failed the psychology test.
So, Mumsy, you cannot tell what sort of mental state Blanche is in right now and how well she might take bad news. You can't tell right now.
I think we have no choice. I think we need to talk with her. And if you guys don't mind, my psychoanalysis skills are pretty good. So could I just say, rather than dominate the game, Keeper, may I just say that I very gently explained that there are multiple corpses, including the doctor and Ebenezer, and that this is why we're just so deeply upset, and let her know that Mabel's body was charred, the cat, everything. I don't want her having any horrible surprises, and this is why we are so worried about it.
All right, give me a psychoanalyst roll.
Phew! I got 69, and it's not anything super, but I have 91.
A regular success? All right.
It's a regular success.
Okay, so Blanche nods and sort of takes it all in and then says, well, that is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And so you told her about all the dead bodies,
I
Ebenezer as
did.
well.
I
Okay.
don't want her having any shocks.
They don't have any.
Ebenezer,
By the way, all these people are dead.
Ebenezer is not going to the mainland to get help for us.
No.
So, what do you intend to do? Because we can't live on this island without a boat. Even if there wasn't a murderer, we're going to run out of supplies.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Well, if we find the murderer.
Wouldn't anybody come by this island at some point for the mail or?
Yeah. I suppose if they didn't get any contact, I think there's some sort of system where if they don't have contact with us for a few days, the Coast Guard will just sort of buzz by to check on us.
Excellent. Oh, very good to know. Oh,
but that's going to be days before anyone.
A couple of days
because Ebenezer just made his trip yesterday to get you.
Yeah, at least we have some hope. So maybe we should work on trying to stay safe and find this murderer, right?
Well, listen, I guess it's okay to lock me in, but could you lock Colonel Billings in with me? Because I just hate to think about him being all by himself, and he can't even get out of his wheelchair to do his business, if you know what I mean.
Oh dear.
I vote yes.
Oh dear. Okay.
Do we want to give her an extra key?
No.
That she can unlock herself? Okay.
I'm sorry. Who said that? Was that Byron?
And then did not say aloud.
So Blanche is asking, so what's your plan for now?
We're going to go investigate the rest of the island, see if we can find out what's up.
We're looking for Charles and the bird watcher. Maybe we should.
Shouldn't I make a picnic lunch for you?
That would be great, actually. And maybe, and Velvet, maybe we should leave her the key. What if there's a fire or something? What do you guys think? Oh, no, Byron's shaking his head. All right.
Steve, what do you think?
I mean, we didn't leave Byron the key.
No, you did not.
This adventure.
At the time, we only had, I think, the one set of keys. Now we have multiple sets of keys.
This adventure's new unofficial title is called The Keymaster.
Right.
Anyway, Blanche goes off to make some packed lunches for all of you, and you can prepare to explore the island. Just sort of tell me what you're doing in terms of. So you're leaving. Everyone is going to get their breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Are you explaining anything to anybody else aside from Blanche? You told Leonard that. I already forgot what you told. Oh my God, my brain today.
I don't think we did.
All right, so basically everyone is like a little bit PO'd about having to stay in the rooms, but at least they've had their breakfast, and then your decision is what you're going to do. Are you locking? Blanche wants to be in her room with Colonel Billings.
Okay.
All right. With that. Do you need any extra supplies from his room, Blanche? Yeah,
she's going to get some clean adult diapers, and she's going to bring some snacks and stuff with her.
Oh, very smart.
She's made you some lunches, and so just tell me, does she have a key, or is everyone locked in?
I vote no key.
Yeah, I would say no key either.
Well, we'll try to be back really soon.
Yeah.
You spent quite a few hours sort of checking on people, doing the medication, walking down the docks. I'm going to say it's around 11. So it's like getting close to midday. So you have your packed lunches, and tell me where you're going.
Before we leave, I just want to make sure of this. I'm really uncomfortable. What if something happens to us? I don't like leaving her without a key. That's just the bottom line. I just don't like it.
Yeah, and she's staying in the room willingly. If she needed to leave the room, I think she would have a valid reason. I don't have a problem with leaving her a key.
Byron, are you sure on this? I mean, I'll yield to your expertise. I have deep concern.
Don't let him mansplain to you, Mumsy. You're the senior of the two.
You're the elder doctor.
elder doctor thinks she should have a key.
I'll defer to your experience if you push it.
I would like to leave her with her own key.
All right, but not the other patient.
Well, what do you guys think about that? I'm just
No, I would say let her she can be in the same room with Colonel, and then
okay.
I guess we can leave her a key.
All right. Are you okay with that, Blanche? We'll leave your key with you in case there's any problem. You can, come on.
Get out.
All right.
I mean, not for anything. Just do realize this: that this guy did lock her in the room every night.
Yes.
Oh wow.
But she has free reign during the day.
Right, during the day. But for some reason, he locked her in at night.
Wow.
You're giving her a lot of trust right now when there was a doctor who was taking care of her that didn't give her this much trust.
That is very true, though I will point out as we depart and start walking, and that I didn't want to let her out in the first place. Was how good.
That's true.
Where are you? Blanche asks, where are you headed? Because you said, here's a key if something happens. She says, if something happens, where do I find you?
Gosh,
We're going up north.
Right? Are you going to go check on the bird watcher?
Bird watcher, the boat, you said there was a boat ruin or boat?
Yeah.
Oh, the shipwreck?
Shipwreck?
Okay. I mean, I don't think you'll find anything there, but okay. There's a ring road, basically. It goes right around the island. So just follow the road to the north, and it'll eventually bring you to the bird watcher's camp and to the. He's actually camping near the shipwreck. So. Okay.
And there's somebody sacrificing people in the middle of the night. I didn't say that in front of Blanche. Blanche is locked in a room.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought we were in the middle of a conversation.
We were talking to Blanche, Jimmy.
I was talking as Blanche just then. I'm sorry if that was unclear.
Then I did not say what I said.
If you see the bird watcher, tell him to come to the house. It's not safe for him to be out there.
That's a very good idea. Very good idea, Blanche.
His name is James Shelley. He's a very nice boy.
James
Shelley?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. All right.
That's funny because I have a letter carrier named James Kelly.
Shelley.
Oh, good. Because
Shelley like the amulet.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely that James Shelley's in good shape, so this is good that it's not the same name as your colleague.
It's 11:05, just so you know. We'll need to end.
Right. Can we maybe head that direction, and maybe we'll hear a little exposition and have a
yeah. I mean, if you're heading now, you didn't see any signs of any sort of motor vehicle, so I assume you're hoofing it.
Yeah.
To walk, if you're walking up the road a mile and a half, that's going to take you. I mean, I don't know the slowest among you. How
probably Mumsy.
Yeah, I mean,
I do swim for exercise. I'm a very good swimmer, but I am older.
So like an hour is long for a mile, but maybe 45 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, so it's about
midday. Do it in half an hour or so, like a nice walk.
So you walk along the road. It's very pleasant and scenic. It's a nice day, and you have the ocean and the cliffs on your west. You have that woods that you were stumbling through last night. That's on your east. And then eventually you'd come up to a point on the island, and you can see the road curves. And it's a small island from west to east, so you can see almost the top of the island as you reach the northern point. And so to the northwest, there is a point that sticks out, and at the end of the point is an old lighthouse. And then to the northeast, you can make out a campsite, and then slightly beyond it, you do see what look like the bones of an old shipwreck. And up here, the cliffs have sort of come down, and so the road has sloped down gently. And so on this side of the island, you have, it's not the most beautiful Caribbean sand, but it's a sandy beach of New England style, and basically means a lot of crushed shells and rocks, and so it's not glamorous, but it is a beach and not a cliff here.
Keeper, the island is relatively flat, right?
Yeah, I mean, except for the fact that it slopes, so toward the south, the cliffs are very high,
Right.
and it kind of slopes down so that now it's at sea level, so you meet the sea. But aside from that, there's no mountains or cliffs within the island itself. It's a relatively flat piece of rock, I guess.
I'm a little disoriented, guys. Are we anywhere near where that awful rock was last night, Jimmy?
That's in the woods, right?
Yeah, well, I think the rock, if I'm not mistaken, was kind of more on the east. So we eventually went through the forest that got to there.
Okay.
But I'm thinking though, as we were looking north last night, we saw a glowing red light kind of off to the left a little bit in our field of view, and then we were hearing the screaming a bit off to the right. And I'm wondering if the screaming seems fairly. I mean, it's a fairly good guess. I don't know if it's true or not. It's probably coming from that rock where we found all the blood, but I wonder if that glowing red light was just this lighthouse.
That was a very strange light.
Or campfire from the bird watcher?
Possibly a campfire.
But
it's just so strange that the screaming stopped and then the light, which was far away, went off at the same time.
And that light was very, if I remember right, it was very red, very large, very strange. I don't think it was a campfire. I'm even a little doubtful about a normal lighthouse. Yeah. But who knows?
Should we head towards the camp?
Let's head towards the camp first, because the lighthouse probably isn't going anywhere. Unless it is going anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Hands on your guns, gentlemen.
It is, as far as you can tell, it is not going anywhere. Okay, so you approach the campsite, and again, it's close to the, now it's becoming very clear as you get close to it that it is the remains of an old whaler driven high onto the beach and partially covered by sand.
That's the shipwreck?
That's the shipwreck that you can make out more clearly as you approach, because the campsite is a little bit closer, but the shipwreck is just beyond it. So you see a large tent. Seems like it's been here a while, just based on, sort of the stakes are driven down and it's fairly well set up. There's a nice little campfire and some camping equipment, camp stove and stuff. And there's telescopes and some other ornithological equipment here. But everything looks like it's in disarray. So there's equipment scattered. There's paper sort of blowing around the beach. And do any of you have?
I got my pencil.
Ginger's armed with her pencil.
Muncie's got a pencil.
Yeah. I was making you roll survival, but there is in fact a track skill. Any of you can roll either spot hidden or track, whichever of those skills is higher.
Is there anyone obviously here?
There's no one obviously here.
Okay.
I failed spectacularly.
I got an 18 for spot hidden, which is a hard success.
Okay.
Spot hidden.
You fail. Okay. So, boy, Velvet, you're just like clutch with the finding things. Yeah.
Velvet is very intelligent. She might be a starlet, but she's very intelligent.
Are you looking around the whole camp?
Yes.
I'm looking wherever the goodies are.
Yeah.
I'm squishing your head. I'm squishing your head.
You want to give me? Yeah. Signs of a struggle are evident. There's some footprints and the marks of something being dragged. And among the ruins of the camp, you do find a loaded .45 automatic. And also you find a book that appears to be James Shelley's journal.
Okay.
Both of these things are partially buried in the sand.
Is there like a Thompson, like a Tommy gun?
A loaded .45 automatic.
That would be a pistol.
With an automatic pistol?
Yeah, Colt 45.
All right.
It was no use to him, apparently.
Yeah, here I've got firearms, .45 automatic,
All right.
Wow. The damage is 1d10 plus 2, 15 yards. There's 7 bullets in it.
Great.
Uses per round 1. So whoever takes this, I can text you the stats of it after. But
do we have? Is there ammo too?
you did not find that.
No ammo.
Oh wait, did you get an extreme success? You did, didn't you?
I got a hard success, not extreme.
Okay.
I smell the barrel of the gun to see if it's been fired recently.
Oh, very smart.
I'm a sergeant. I know these things.
Yeah, it is fully loaded and it has not been recently fired.
Wow.
It's loaded. Okay, so there are bullets in it,
Yes.
but there's no additional
Fully
ammo.
loaded. There are 7 bullets loaded into it, which is its capacity.
Velvet, you taking the pistol?
Oh, I can't shoot this thing. I shoot long rifles.
Oh, you could do it, Velvet. That's excellent.
Do you shoot on horseback?
I don't think I have riding.
Jimmy, stop fantasizing about poor Velvet.
Right.
Shooting and riding on horseback.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a trap using a mirror, like Annie Oakley.
Oh right. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jimmy. I apologize. You were thinking of Velvet's third film. That's right. You did shoot from horseback. I had forgotten that. Very well done, Velvet. I thought it was.
Thank you,
stunt
dear.
person.
Jimmy yells out, "Anybody here?"
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy.
Hello?
Give me a listen roll.
Oh.
All of you.
Right.
Ooh, I might actually make it this time. Where's my listen?
28.
I rolled 11, and my listen is
That's
20.
good.
I got a hard success.
You hear nothing.
Okay, there's nothing going. Thank goodness.
This is me trying to prove that just because I make you roll for something doesn't mean there's something to find or hear.
Got
Dang
it.
it.
Wow.
Okay, so we're at the camp. Somebody should read the journal.
And this is the beach. Even if it's not sandy, there should be signs of someone being dragged. Can you tell?
Yeah, broadly, like which direction?
If you want to track the drag marks, you're going to have to do a track roll.
Oh,
Well, let's stop and read the journal first because
somebody read the journal.
All right. Whoever's reading it, it doesn't really matter. But basically, it's clearly the student's journal. There's some notes about the birds that he is studying here, and how they're fascinating species because of how isolated it is. And then he talks about the staff at the sanatorium, remarks how friendly everyone is, describes his explorations of the woods, cliff, and abandoned lighthouse. And he does mention the shipwreck, which has been partially exposed. And as I mentioned, you can see it from his campsite, but he has taken an interest in sort of poking around and talks about sort of trying to dig it out of the sand. But there's not much else of note there.
So there's nothing that says, and then I see a strange red light at night
And then-
hear screaming
yeah.
in the woods, and then somebody attacked me and dragged me away.
Or I managed to convince Nurse Ames to hang herself this afternoon.
She wasn't
successful day.
So anyway, it is 11:15, and
Yeah.
you have found a campsite with signs of a struggle. So it's not the greatest cliffhanger ever, but it might be a good time to wrap up.
There is a cliff nearby.
Yeah. I think the only part of the island
without a cliff,
Yeah.
right? So there's literally no cliff hanging to be
Well, it's a
done.
beachcomber, I guess.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for joining us on Twitch, or if you watch us later on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Give yourself 100 experience points. And until we see you again across the internet, keep your dice dry, your medallions ready, and your keeper strong. Feed your keeper.
Stay
Elder
stay
signs
away from
around your neck.
What'd you say, Anna?
Elder signs around your neck.
Keep your elder signs around your neck. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.